Hi, so I'd like to do a book review of Chuck Palahniuk's Invisible Monsters. And I guess the first thing I'd like to say about this book is I can't say that I really totally recommend it. I would say that overall I would recommend Fight Club because what you're getting with this book is a gender reversed version of Fight Club, and it seems as though from the books that I've read by Chuck Palahniuk, I've read Choke, Fight Club, and this one so far over a long period of time. Actually, I read Choke was the first one I read probably over 15 years ago now. You're getting kind of that same character dynamic as Fight Club in both Choke and this book, and it seems as though he's kind of made a bit of a name for himself, or kind of an empire of writing that same character dynamic as Fight Club in all of his books. I guess what I'd like to say is that this book isn't quite as good as Fight Club, but is just kind of like a gender reversed version of Fight Club. So that dynamic where you have kind of a subservient character who has a relationship with someone who kind of dominates their life and gives them direction in their life, whereas the main character is kind of not sure what to do all the time and needs guidance. And really, I think that's a very common character dynamic that happens in life. I agree, like with Palahniuk, that that's a common dynamic that happens in life, but it's something that people kind of grow out of and don't really seek so much as they get older. Because I think what happens is you start to realize that the person who's dominating is just saying, you feel the way that you feel, and if you choose to feel that way, I'll make you feel that way even more. So what ends up happening is that people end up saying, I don't want to feel that way anymore. I'll just feel the way I feel and choose to feel good about myself, or choose to feel happy. And then characters who dominate your feelings tend to not come around anymore, or dominating people don't tend to have as much impact on us because we've chosen to feel the way we feel and been became the master of our own feelings. So this is kind of a character dynamic that I would say is more applicable to younger audiences, probably like teenagers to college, undergrad years. So that being said, because I'm a little bit older and I find that I've grown out of the kind of dynamic that's happening in this book, it doesn't really appeal to me, but it could appeal to younger audiences a little bit more. And also, I think that a lot of this book is very sensationalized. It's melodramatic. That doesn't quite appeal to me as much. I think what appeals to me more is something that rings true in terms of what would realistically happen in life. And I can't say that this really does that. Overall, it's an okay book for certain audiences. For me, it's not a winner. It could be good for other audiences. That's about it, if that makes any sense. I hope that makes sense to you. If you are interested in a book like that, I would say that you should probably start with Fight Club if you haven't read it already. And obviously, Chuck Palahniuk has a very large following, so people love him almost whatever he does, and that's fine too. So I'd just like to say I did enjoy reading this book, and it wasn't very difficult to read, and it was kind of entertaining. I'm just going to do a little quick promo of my books. So this is Winter Lyric. They're both kind of like magical realism and semi-autobiographical. This one is about a love manifesto written for a woman that suddenly becomes the main character's romantic interest. And this is There Is a Light That Never Goes Out, kind of some shady stuff about mental illness and drinking. Also, sort of magical realism in the sense that kind of a certain synchronicity of what happens in the story. So that's a quick promo of my books, and this has been a review of Invisible Monsters by Chuck Palahniuk.